I'm doing well. Tim, how are you?
I'm doing super well. We thank you once again for taking the time. We can all get a little bit more informed on the operations over there with the Social Security Administration getting things started. We are underway with the Medicare open enrollment. What do we need to know and how long is this running for?
Yeah, so we are kind of at the tail end of this Medicare open enrollment period right now. We've got a little bit over a week to go. This open enrollment period ran from October 13th to December 7th. So it'll end next week. I think that's next Thursday is December 7th. But somewhere around there, like I said, a little over a week to go. And really what this is, Tim, is it's an opportunity for current Medicare beneficiaries to compare their options for health and prescription drug coverage. So this is going to include a variety of different types of Medicare plans. If a Medicare beneficiary is enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan, or if they have a supplement that's known as a Medigap plan, or if they have a Medicare prescription drug plan. So these are, the types of Medicare plans that are sold by private insurance companies. And, sometimes they change their offerings from one year to the next. They change their coverages. Sometimes a person determines that what they had this year didn't work that well for them, and they might want to look at something different for next year. So we are in that window right now until December 7th, where a person could make a change to any of those types of plans, their Advantage plan, their Medigap or supplement, or their Medicare prescription drug plan. So if they want to make that change, they need to do it before the end of this enrollment period on December 7th. And then the change will be effective January 1st of 2024. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to make a change. If you're happy with your existing plans and coverage, then you don't have to do anything. You don't have to re-enroll in these plans each year. This is just for those who want to make a change. And then if you're just kind of a little bit unsure of where you would get information, how do you find out about the different plans? There are multiple places you can go. One great place is the Medicare website. So if you go to medicare.gov, www.medicare.gov, or you can call Medicare at 1-800-MEDICARE. And then we also have something here in the state of Illinois that's known as the Senior Health Insurance Program. That's through the Illinois Department on Aging. So you can look them up online on the Illinois Department on Aging's website, or you can call them at 800-252-8966. So again, that's 800-252-8966 for Illinois Senior Health Insurance Program, or 1-800-MEDICARE or medicare.gov. Those are the places you can go for assistance with looking at plans if you want to make a change before the end of this open enrollment period that goes through December 7th of this year.
All right. So it's an important window we're in right now. You kind of mentioned that. And it seems like there's a lot to know and there's a lot to be confused with. You mentioned the helplines that are available, but are there, these are live people to help out with situations, because these can all be different for different people?
Yeah. So if you call the Illinois Department on Aging Senior Health Insurance Program, you'll get live people to talk with. If you call it 1-800-MEDICARE, you'll talk with somebody there. Then again, you go to the Medicare.gov website, and they have just kind of plan finders, and
Cool.
You can get information about a variety of different plans there. You can also call insurance companies, but one thing you have to keep in mind when you call a specific insurance company is you're calling a specific insurance company. So, of course, they're going to be more prone to talk to you about the products that they offer, as opposed to maybe some of the competing products. So, that's nothing new. That's kind of how things work. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't mean you won't get good information, but it's just something you should be aware of if you're calling that insurance company.
Right. And with you've already, to restate this point, if all of your plans are going as you want them to, you don't have to reapply, you don't have to re-enroll for anything.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're enrolled and you're happy with your plans, you don't have to make a change. This is just for those who want to make a change to those plans. And if you do make a change, that change will be effective January 1st of 2024.
Perfect. And this goes all the way until December 7th here. So yeah, make sure to reach out to those lines if you want to make a change in your coverage. Mr. Jack Myers, anything else on the open enrollment period that's running out here soon?
Nope. Just a last reminder: Medicare.gov is the Medicare website if you want to research information about plans.
Beautiful. All right, there's some new processes over there at the Social Security offices around the state. It's the mobile check-in. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so this is something that we think is going to be nice. It's a way or an opportunity, if you will, to check in a little bit differently. So when you come to a Social Security office, whether you have an appointment or you don't have an appointment, we have a kiosk. So when you come in the office, you check in on this kiosk to let us know that you're here and that you're here for your appointment, or if you're not here for your appointment, what you're here for. And it's basically how we get you into line so that we know when it's your turn to be served. So we have that. That's not new. That's been around for a long time. But now we have a mobile check-in process. So there is a QR code that you will be able to scan with your mobile device. Once you're physically at our office, you can scan this QR code, and it'll take you to an opportunity to check in through your mobile device. So you don't have to wait to get to the kiosk. And one of the really nice things about this, Tim, is our office is open at 9 o'clock in the morning. The mobile check-in process opens at 8:30. So if you get to our office, you can check in starting at 8:30. And then if you drove to the office or you got a ride to the office, you can actually get back in your car. You can sit in your car where it's a little bit warmer, because these mornings are getting cold here in central Illinois. So you can sit in your warm car and wait. You don't have to wait right at the door in the cold. Once the door opens at 9, the first people we will have come in are those who have checked in on the mobile process. So you'll go kind of in a different area. You'll go right up to the front. And then those who haven't checked in yet, who are in line, will go over to the kiosk and check in on the kiosk. So it's really efficient because it enables us to start working with people who checked in on the mobile app instead of waiting for people to get checked in on the kiosk. It's great for the users because, as I said, you don't have to wait in that line. If you've got an opportunity to sit in a vehicle, you can do that and you won't lose your place in line. So something to take advantage of if you have the right devices. If you have the opportunity, I would do that. You do have to be at the office, though. You can't utilize mobile check-in before you get to the office. So that's just something to keep in mind there.
This seems like it's going to make processes just a little bit smoother, a little bit faster, less time standing in line. For those that might not know how to operate the QR codes, it can be a little confusing. Can you break that down a little bit for us?
Yeah. So, most of the time these days with your mobile device, we'll just say your phone, okay? Because a lot of people have smartphones these days. So a lot of times if you just open the camera app, you can take a picture. The QR code is going to be this little square kind of digital looking thing. It's a square box that you take a picture of with your phone, and then it takes you to a website is kind of the easiest way to describe it. But a couple things that you need to be aware of is, in order for this to work, you'll have to have your location services turned on, because we have to be able to verify that you are at the office physically. And then you also want to make sure you're using an updated internet browser on your device. The service is most compatible with browsers like Safari, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, so really all the main ones. Make sure that's updated. Your location services are on, and you should be able to take advantage of the mobile check-in process.
Easy. And once you do it for the first time, I'm sure it'll come to you easy. Maybe just need some help for the first time. But yes, the QR codes, I love that. You see them sometimes at restaurants. They were using those for menus. QR codes are the new thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, just one thing I forgot to mention, Tim, and as you first do this, you might be asked if you would like to allow notifications. Make sure you say yes to that, because notifications are how you're going to find out it's your turn. So you want to allow the notifications on this mobile check-in process. Otherwise, we won't be able to let you know it's your turn to be served.
Yeah, that's an important piece right there. You'll get a little ding on your phone letting you know that it is your time for your appointment. That is really awesome. We're sitting down right now with Jack Myers, Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration. We're going to take ourselves a little break right here. When we come back, we're going to learn more about businesses and Social Security Administration. My name's Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Do not go anywhere. You are listening to the WTIM, your information station.
Your information station. WTIM. Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn lower, beans higher, wheat trading lower at this hour. December corn 450 3/4, down 4 3/4. March corn down 3 3/4, 471 1/2. May corn 484, down 2 3/4. January beans 1344, up 14 1/4. March beans up 14 1/2, 1362 3/4. May beans 1376 1/4, up 14 1/2. December wheat 529 1/4, down a nickel. March wheat down 2 1/2, 558 1/2. December bean meal 460, up 130. December bean oil 52.63, up 72 cents. Livestock market at this hour. January feeders 216.82, up 402. December live cattle up $1.22, 170 even. December lean hog 69.02, up $1.15. Energy market, January crude oil 75.53, that's up 67 cents. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio.
Hey farmers, our environment-friendly liquid fertilizer will help you stretch that fertilizer dollar further, a lot further, without compromising on results. Experience application versatility, lower input cost, and healthier crop yields. Don't just fertilize, mineralize. Product and crop protocol information is available at blackcoralminerals.com. blackcoralminerals.com.
People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, are proud to continue their long-standing sponsorship of honoring Taylorville High School Students of the Month on WTIM's many platforms on AM, FM, and streamed online, and on WMKR, Genuine Country 94.3.
Hi, my name is Finn Neiman. I've been elected for Junior Student of the Month. My parents are Carl and Beth Neiman. Some of my extracurricular activities are I am a football player, varsity football player. My interests and hobbies are working out, hanging out with my buddies, and playing sports. My future plans are to trade stocks and options and be a private investor. My favorite subject in school is drafting because it helps me with my job in construction.
People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, salutes these great Taylorville High School students on this honor and wish them the best in their future. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Craig's Realtors continues to be the market leader in 2023. I'm Steve Craigs. It's a seller's market. If you're considering selling, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Find out about all the products and services offered by Dan Rizzo, your American Family Insurance agent in Taylorville, by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. We're sitting down with Jack Myers right now, Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration. That first half, we talked a little bit about Medicare open enrollment and the new mobile check-in services over there in the Social Security offices around the state. Now we're moving over to some small business aspects here with the Social Security Administration, because Mr. Jack Myers, small business owners, they got a lot to juggle, but what can they really not forget about Social Security?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Tim, that they do have a lot to juggle. A lot of times they're wearing all kinds of different hats as a business owner. They're trying to keep things afloat, trying to keep their business growing. And, hopefully at some point when they need to slow down, they will have built a business that has value that can sustain them in retirement. But, if that doesn't work out quite that way, they need to be thinking in the early years about their Social Security and about their retirement. It's a little different for a small business owner. They don't necessarily have the pension program or the 401k. And there's also, while they're working, there are some additional opportunities where they can take advantage of legitimate ways to keep their taxable income down. That's a strategy that a lot of people can understand the advantages of. But what I want to remind you of is, don't lose track of the impact that will have one day on your future Social Security benefits. The reason I say that is because Social Security benefits are based on the taxes that you've paid in through the years. So the more you pay into Social Security, the higher your monthly benefit will be when retirement comes along. And I've worked for Social Security for approximately 24 years now. And, during that time, I've had many conversations with all different kinds of retirees. And unfortunately, too often, I've spoken to small business owners as they've gotten to their retirement years and aren't quite as well prepared. They weren't maybe thinking about this. And when they learn what their retirement benefit amount is going to be from Social Security, it's not always good news. So I just want people to know about that, think about that ahead of time so that you're prepared. And, maybe you might want to pay a little bit more in through the years because of the advantage it will offer you when it comes time to retire and sign up for your monthly Social Security benefit.
Sure. I'm sure it can be hard for some of these small business owners to see that it will pay off in the very end. Just is that right? Just because you're seeing a little bit more paid in right now?
Yeah, of course. And I do want to emphasize, Tim, that I'm not suggesting that anybody's doing anything wrong or anything. I mean, I understand there are a lot of expenses that are associated with operating a business, and there are a lot of legitimate expenses and write-offs. And so, it's certainly a strategy that I can understand. When you're trying to get by, having less taxable income is part of that. But the flip side is, it will lead to a lower monthly benefit from Social Security. And so far I've been talking about retirement, but another thing you have to think about is, what if you become disabled, or what if you pass away unexpectedly? What does that leave for your family members? The Social Security insurance can be disability benefits for you, for your family. It can be survivor benefits for your family. So if you don't have that safety net built up, that could really be tough news. And it could be especially tough for your family if you operate a small business and it's really pretty dependent upon you. If you're gone and that small business doesn't have near the value anymore, then what's that leave for your family? So those are just the types of things that small business owners need to be thinking about. And we've got, of course, some great tools on our website. If you go to ssa.gov and create a My Social Security account, you can see estimates of what your future retirement benefits would be. You can see estimates of what your survivors would qualify for if you passed away, or what you get if you became disabled. And, those are just things you should be aware of. Anybody should be aware of, but especially this morning, we're talking about small business owners and how important it is to you.
Sure. Yeah, and it's very important to note there, and you can find all of that information right there at www.ssa.gov/pubs. Is that the right one?
Yeah, so
Great.
that's our website for our publication. So if you're going to go there, there's something I would recommend. If you are self-employed, it's called. So it's just pretty creatively named to make it easy to find if you're self-employed, and that's at ssa.gov/pubs, which is our online library of publication. Or you could go to ssa.gov/my-account to create your personal account and see estimates of your personal future benefits.
Beautiful. Mr. Jack Myers, we are less than a minute away from the end here, but any last words for our listeners regarding the Social Security Administration?
Again, I'd just like to reiterate that website, ssa.gov. If you need any information, you can also call us locally in the Springfield office at 877-279-9504.
Amazing. Mr. Jack Myers, thank you so much for taking the time today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Without a doubt. That's Jack Myers, Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for listening.
Your information station, WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1